The highest bidder is not winning. Sazerac put a reported $15 billion in cash on the table for Jack Daniel's and Woodford Reserve, and the family holding those bottles is reportedly walking toward a different deal. Not because the money is wrong, because the other offer keeps them inside the room where decisions get made. That one detail changes everything about how this fight ends, and by the time we reach the watch points at the end, you will know exactly what to look for on your shelf over the next 3 years. Here is what the reporting tells us as of late April 2026. Pernod Ricard announced merger talks with Brown-Forman in late March. Then Sazerac stepped in with a reported all-cash offer of roughly $32 per share, roughly $15 billion in total, confirmed by Reuters and the Wall Street Journal. 2 buyers, 1 portfolio. The family controlling 67% of the voting rights has not said yes to either one. Brown-Forman has publicly stated no agreement has been reached and no final terms have been confirmed. Now here is the part most coverage buries. The 2 offers are not just different dollar amounts, they are different philosophies about what the Brown family actually wants out of this. Sazerac is offering cash. All of it. You sell, you walk away with the money, and Sazerac owns Jack Daniel's, Woodford Reserve, Old Forester, and everything else in the portfolio outright. Pernod is offering something closer to a merger of equals. The structure reported by Reuters is roughly 80% stock and 20% cash. What that means in plain English is that the Brown family does not fully exit. They become significant shareholders in the combined company. They retain equity. They retain a stake in what the brands become. That distinction is the entire story, because this is not a family trying to maximize a payout. This is a family deciding whether they want to cash out or stay inside the room where decisions get made. And that family has the power to make exactly that choice. According to Morningstar and multiple verified sources, the Brown family controls approximately 67% of the voting rights in Brown-Forman. The company has publicly described itself as a controlled company because the family holds more than 50% of the voting stock. What that means practically is simple. No deal closes without their approval. Not a negotiating tactic, not a formality, a mathematical fact. Sources familiar with the matter who spoke to Reuters and Bloomberg on April 20th reported that the Brown family is leaning toward Pernod Ricard's structure for exactly this reason. They want to stay in the combined entity. They want influence in what comes next. But the family has not publicly confirmed that preference, and Sazerac has not officially confirmed its offer either. What we have is a well-sourced picture of a decision that has not yet been made. Now, step back for a moment and ask why any of this is happening at all. The spirits market is not in the place it was 3 years ago. United States spirit sales fell 2.2% in 2025, according to the Distilled Spirits Council. That sounds modest, until you pair it with something Brown-Forman's own chief executive said earlier this year. When Canadian provinces pulled American liquor from store shelves in response to tariff tensions, he called it worse than a tariff. American spirit sales in Canada dropped 68% in a single month. One market, 1 month, 68%. Diageo separately projected a $200 million annual hit from new import tariffs. This deal is not random timing. It is happening inside a market that is no longer running on easy growth. That brings us to the two futures sitting on the table right now. If Sazerac wins, you are looking at one company holding the deepest American whiskey portfolio ever assembled. Sazerac already owns Buffalo Trace, Eagle Rare, W.L. Weller, and a long list of others. Add Jack Daniel's, Woodford Reserve, and Old Forester, and you have a single entity with dominant control over shelf placement, distribution relationships, and release strategy across American whiskey. That level of concentration does not mean the liquid changes tomorrow, but it does mean one company is making the call on what gets released, what gets limited, what gets marketed at scale, and what gets quietly managed down. Buyers who care about access and allocation should pay attention to that math. If Pernod wins, you get a different picture. Pernod is already the world's second largest spirits maker, behind Diageo. A combined Pernod and Brown-Forman would have a United States volume of roughly 25.6 million cases, sitting behind only Sazerac, Diageo, and Gallo. The practical question for American whiskey buyers is not what changes at the distillery. It is what changes in the boardroom. When American bourbon brands become line items inside a global luxury portfolio alongside Jameson, Absolut, Glenlivet, and Chivas Regal, the brands that grow are the ones that serve the global strategy. The ones that do not are not discontinued. They are deprioritized. That is slower. It is quieter. But over 3 to 5 years, it is just as real. Remember that 68% drop in Canada. Whichever company wins this deal inherits that market access problem on day one, alongside a weaker domestic market and active tariff pressure. The incoming owner is not acquiring a smooth-running machine. They are acquiring a portfolio that is already fighting on multiple fronts. So what should you actually watch for over the next 12 to 36 months? Watch distribution. If you start seeing certain Brown-Forman labels harder to find in specific regions, that is the new owner reshaping retail relationships. Watch marketing investment. The brands that get the big campaign dollars after a merger are the ones the new parent considers core to its strategy. The ones that go quiet are being managed as legacy assets. Watch range changes. Line extensions, packaging updates, and new expressions often signal that a brand is being repositioned for a new audience. That is not always bad, but it is always intentional. Watch the liquid last. Production changes take time. The barrel cycle means what is in the glass today was filled years ago. But if something shifts in character 18 to 24 months from now, the decision to change it was probably made in a meeting you never heard about. No deal is done. The Brown family has not confirmed anything. The outcome is still open. But the shape of both possible futures is clear enough to start paying attention now. That is the most useful thing this story can give you.